How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall. In today's video, unfortunately talking about another loss, an I-10 rival loss to UTEP. Super weird because we beat UNM, who's doing really, really good right now. They did lose 2 consecutive games at home, which is very uncharacteristic of them, but they're still 18-6, third in Mountain West, and they'll probably make the NCAA tournament. We beat them by 8 points, and I wouldn't say it was an easy win. It was a close game all throughout, but we were up the majority of the game, and so it felt really nice. And then against UTEP, we were also up the majority of the game. Just couldn't finish it out. The team that, my 4 years here, never able to sweep, pretty unfortunate. Been able to sweep UTEP, even though we only, or not UTEP, been able to sweep UNM, even though we only played them, once the past couple years. But it's super weird how it works, how we're able to beat these good teams, but then can't beat these not so great teams. And then tomorrow, play against Liberty. So maybe we'll beat a great team there. Who knows? I'm going to talk a little bit about the UTEP game, highlight tomorrow's game against Liberty, and what the Aggies need to do to get a bounce-back win against a really, really, really good Liberty team. And then they play against Jack State on Saturday. 2 of the best teams in the conference. They're top 2. We play against Jack State again later in the year. Play against Kennesaw State. Play against UTEP again. Play against Western Kentucky. I believe we can play against Middle Tennessee again as well. So our schedule is really tough. Coach Hoon in the press conference yesterday that I was at said that they can easily win these last 7 games, but they can also easily lose these last 7 games. Conference USA is just very, very tough and tight. Maybe easily is not the way to word it, but it's super even conference. Ideally, we're 11-12. I would like us to win at least 4 more games out of these last 7, so we can finish 15-15, right about 500. Or if we could get 5 out of the last 7, have a above 500 record. But then our record in conference still wouldn't look too great. But as long as you can get hot at the right time, bond together, build up that chemistry, fight through adversity, they can maybe get those wins in that tournament and make the NCAA tournament. It'd be really nice. Anything's possible. I mean, look at our baseball team in 2022. They had a losing record. They were 24-34, but they still made their tournament because they won all the games they needed. They won the play-in for the WAC, got there, won all those games. Ideally, again, I think if it's a 7-10 range, we have to do a play-in to get into the Conference USA tournament. It's already kind of part of the tournament itself. But if you get 11th or 12th, then you don't get it at all. And we're 11th, only a half a game ahead of Delaware. Delaware, they've had some good games. They only lost by 6 to Liberty. They were competing with UTEP for the most part, only done by 6-8 for most of the game, and then UTEP ended up winning that one by 15. I believe Delaware won by 15 against Kennesaw State early in conference. So anybody can beat anybody. Even though we're at the bottom, we were picked to finish 3rd for a reason. And you're watching that La Tech game, the commentators were saying that as well. So we'll see the Aggies can put together some wins and just try to improve and fight through adversity, which is something they unfortunately just haven't been able to do just yet. And it's a big reason they've been losing a lot of games. For about 36 minutes, Hoodin said it in the press conference too, the Aggies did everything they needed to win that game. They played very well. They got down 3-0 early, and then went on a 9-0 run. UTEP went on a 6-0 run with some threes, and then the Aggies got up by 14 at one point, 35-21 in the first half. Especially in a rival game, there's going to be a run that's made eventually. So UTEP got within 7 at halftime, and then I think the closest they got was within 5, and the Aggies got back up to 10. It was kind of in that 5 to 10 point range for most of the second half, and then UTEP just kind of pulled away when it mattered most. They got tied the game, and then Jamel Jones came and made 2 tough buckets, clutch shots to get it 72-68. And then UTEP made a free throw and they hit a big 3 to make it 72-72. Jamel had 4 seconds, got all the way down the court, went really fast, got a good look, just didn't make it. And it's unfortunate. Sam Guzman, who works in El Paso, he was talking about, in the press conference as well, how Jamel Jones has been really clutch. Has hit a lot of big shots, but hasn't been able to hit that game winner just yet. He had a game winner with Cal State Bakersfield last year, and I can't remember if that was the same game. He had 45 points, but he's had some really, really good games, especially recently. Had 26 points against UTEP. He's done a lot of great things. He's putting us in positions to win big games. Been really, really consistent as of late. Unfortunately, our most consistent player, in my opinion, Juice Mims, didn't have his greatest performance, had 6 points, missed 4 free throws, did have 12 rebounds, did a lot of good things, did some things to help us get the win. And even though he had 12 rebounds, there were moments where he didn't block out. I think Jacoby Osborne played a really, really good game. I think Gabe Pickens played very well also. He had 13 points, one of his better games in college so far. He had a 14-point outing last year early on in the season, but this was a really, really good 13-point game and a close game for him. Hit 2 big threes, one of them being really, really clutch. And, Gabe's had a really hard time hitting those 3 balls recently. He keeps getting good looks, but he made 2 in this game and hit 1 really clutch one. I was really hoping that since he was hitting those shots, that was going to help us win the game. Kind of with Jacoby against La Tech. Jacoby's not the greatest 3-point shooter in the world. Hit a 3, got the win. I feel like when those guys are playing like that, you need to win basketball games. They're still young. They'll keep on getting better. We have young talent coming in for years to come. Coach Hoon has done a really good job of recruiting high school talent, which we're going to need for the future. But obviously, we want to focus on this team right now, and it'd be nice if they were playing a little bit better. The overtime just didn't go their way. They got down by as much as 7, but got within 1 with like 4 seconds. Jamel hit a big 3 to make it 88-89. Fouled UTEP. They made their free throws, and then we just couldn't win it. We shot like a half-court shot, didn't go in. It's tough to make those shots. I turned off the TV right away. I was really, really frustrated with the performance. As much as I'm mad at the team, they're the reason they lost. Obviously, they didn't play well enough to win. I'm really, really frustrated with that. The officiating was very terrible as well. There was a shot that UTEP had where it was clearly in the guy's hands on the three, and they didn't count it. Apparently, they couldn't review it. But against La Tech, they could review a technical that we got toward the end of the half, going into a timeout. Makes no sense whatsoever. I think UTEP only got one free throw out of it, but there's just a lot of calls like that throughout the game that were pretty bad. It was a pretty intense game too. There was almost a fight that happened. I was really hoping that the Aggies could have pulled away there, use that as momentum, but UTEP used it as momentum. And I think the commentators were saying something that, with a lot of the benches coming off, depending on who had more players and stuff, a lot of guys could be ejected. They could call the game right there. So it's kind of hope they would have called the game and we won in that type of way. It just really sucks knowing that we can't sweep UTEP. All 4 years that I was here, obviously we don't get swept to them. We will hit them at home in a couple weeks, or less than a couple weeks now, on the 21st. In about 11 days from now. So we'll see how that game goes. Just really hoping that they can start improving and getting these wins. Like, they lost to Delaware, they lost to UTEP, but they beaten teams like, Sam Houston, New Mexico, UC Irvine. So and they competed with teams like Liberty. I was talking to some friends earlier, hey, if we're down at halftime against Liberty by a lot of points, they're going to leave. But we were down by a lot of points at halftime against them last time, came back and almost won it. That's one thing that does frustrate me, though. We've had a lot of games, especially in conference, where we get down by double figures. We come back, get the lead, but then we just can't win the game. But teams against us, like on Saturday against UTEP, they came back after being down by 14 and were able to pull away the win. And most teams will do that. Most teams, if you blow the game and you come back, the team that came back will more than likely win more than not. But not for us, unfortunately. And UTEP hits a clutch three to tie the game, going to overtime. And why can't we hit shots like that? It's just really frustrating because we put ourselves in the best position possible to make them. It just doesn't go our way. I don't know what us fans did to get so unlucky, because it's not the player's fault. Jamel takes good shots. Elijah takes good shots. All these guys are taking good shots. We get clean looks. Even Jalen Randall. We set the plays up right, and they just can't knock down shots, unfortunately, when it matters most, to win the game or send the game into overtime. Obviously, they hit a lot of shots during the game and do a lot of great things to get us back in the game, like Anthony Regette's, against Liberty, hit a lot of threes to get us back in the game, hit 4 threes against UTEP to start off, had a big dunk, but then didn't do much after that. I know he was kind of subbed out here and there. Not sure if that messed with his momentum a little bit, but we're hitting all these big shots, and we're hitting shots in the clutch too, down by 5 or up by 5, 5-point game with 5 minutes left. But when it comes down to hitting that game winner, hitting that game tying shot, they can just not get it done. It's pretty frustrating. The UTEP game's frustrating, but it's in the past now. Got to look forward to the Liberty tomorrow. 4-9 in conference, 11-12 overall. Really looking for a big win to get back to 500 overall and get our 5th conference win against a really, really good team. It's going to be tough to do. Obviously, we only lost to Liberty by 2 on the road, but that doesn't mean we're going to play better at home. I mean, you look at Delaware, you look at UTEP last year, played a lot worse at home than we did on the road. It's going to be tough to beat. They're an older team. They have, a lot of veteran guys that have played together for years. They have that, I think his name is Metheny, his last name. Zach Cleveland's really good. He's back for his 4th year. They have a really, really good coach. It's a team that the Aggies haven't been able to beat since the first time we played them in Conference USA. And just in every sport, in football, volleyball, soccer, I feel like all these sports we play Liberty in, they always end up beating us in a really, really close game. So I would not be surprised whatsoever if we lose by 2 or 3 points in a heartbreaking way again. I really do not want that to be the case. I really hope the Aggies can prove me and the fans wrong. It would be lovely if we could get a lot of fans out to the game tomorrow. We've been getting roughly to 5,000 to 6,000 leading Conference USA in attendance, which is great. But the team not playing so great right now, coming off that big loss to UTEP. We'll see how many fans show up. But then you look at football, where we beat UTEP, and then no one really showed up to that game against Middle Tennessee. So you never know what's going to go on with the fans. I would just love if everyone could just be a lot more consistent. I think a lot of people that watch this channel and these videos are big fans, diehard fans. Win or lose, they're going to be there. There's a lot of fans that aren't like that, unfortunately. We need to get to the point where we have fans support all the time, because believe it or not, that really goes a long way, and is a big reason the Aggies get a lot of big wins. A big reason why the Aggies had that 23-point comeback in literally 15 minutes in the second half against Western Kentucky in Coach Hooten's first year as head coach. Obviously, everyone knows it. Coach Hooten really, really wants to win. He keeps talking about it all the time. I would just love for us to get hot at the right time. And I think he's doing all the right things. I think he's pushing the right buttons. Obviously, no coach is perfect, right? There's going to be some subs here and there that fans might question, but coach knows what he's doing, right? Because there's times, too, where the players go out there and they do their job and makes coach look great. Then they don't do their job, might not look coach, it might make coach not look great, but it's not really on coach. You got to, take risks. You got to make decisions. You got to do all those things. So a lot of people are hating on Hooten. A lot of people are hating on certain players when things don't go our way. But when things are going our way, they're all lovey-dovey about it. We just got to fight through adversity. That's the biggest thing. Us fans, we got to understand, hey, this is the game of basketball. A lot of people that are saying these things never played basketball. I played in high school, played varsity basketball for a few years. Never played Division I basketball, so I don't know how it is. But I'm not sitting up here saying all these things, right? I'm just seeing the way it looks. I know a lot of people, too, in the UTEP game were a little frustrated with Coach Hooten, not deciding to foul there at the end. I'm a big Portland Trailblazers fan, NBA, and that's going to Thiago Splitter really does as a head coach is we'll be up by 3 with like 11 seconds, whatever it may be, and he'll foul immediately. Coach Shooten said in the press conference, he kind of brought it up, which I think makes sense that he would bring it up because a lot of people question it. There was like 22 seconds on the shot clock. So obviously they're not going to foul right away because it's just going to be a foul game. And how poorly we were shooting free throws, I believe we shot like 62% from the line. Obviously never really been a good free throw shooting team. Wasn't really going to go our way probably. But maybe if you wait till like 4 or 5 seconds, then you foul. But they played really good defense regardless. Anthony had a really good hand. You just hit a great shot. And again, the shots that Aggies just can't hit just yet. And maybe in these last 7 games, they'll start hitting those shots and start winning these close games more consistently than not. That La Tech game was just a prime example of it because it was a really, really close game. It was 4 to 5 points. Jamel Jones hit some clutch shots to win that game by 9, scored the last 9 points in the last 3 minutes. Did a really good job there. Had a really good end to the game against UTEP. Keys for tomorrow, we just need to it's going to sound, like almost a perfect game, but we literally cannot turn over the ball as much, and we got to force Liberty to turn over the ball. We need Jamel Jones to play really, really well, have a big game. I believe he played pretty well against them last time. We need Anthony to hit his shots. He's our best shooter. Jamel's our best player. We need Juice to have another double-double, be consistent there. Gabe Pickens has looked really good at the starting point guard position recently. We need him to keep that up. We need Elijah and Chris to come off the bench and do some good things. I think Chris has played exceptionally well whenever he's got in the games recently. Would love to see him get some run this next game against Liberty. We got to go deep on our bench. This is a deep team, and I believe if they do all those things, they'll have the best chance at winning possible. I think that's going to close it out for the video today. Just kind of want to give my thoughts on the UTEP game, kind of get my thoughts going into the Liberty game, how I think it'll go. It's going to be really, really hard to get a win, but I really hope that the Aggies can get it done. Please comment below what you thought about the UTEP game, what you think the Aggies will do against Liberty tomorrow, and what you think the Aggies' final record will be. Again, they're 11-12 right now, 4-9 in conference, 7 games left. Obviously, if they could win all 7, that'd be awesome, but it can be really hard to do. But they could also lose all 7, which it could also be hard to do. We'll see how they do. If I had to guess, I'd say they win about 3 to 5 more games in that range. I'm trying to be a little optimistic there with the 5, but I think they'll at least get 3 or 4. Everything is pull away through, soon. It's getting close to March, and that's when you gotta be playing your best brand of basketball. It's like Elijah Elliott, I think Anthony, Gabe Pickens, they've all alluded to in press conferences. They need to be playing their best brand of basketball by then. Obviously, they're 11th right now, but they're not too far off. If they can string together a few wins and some other teams lose their games, then we're good. We gotta focus on ourselves to win these games. If you look at the standings, they're not too far apart. We're not super far from being 7th or 6th. So we'll see how it all goes. We hope the Aggies can pull away, and we'll see how the game goes tomorrow. I'll make a video about it. Not sure if I'll make a video just strictly about that game itself, or if I'll make a video about the weekend itself. See how it goes. It really just depends on when I have time. I wanted to make this video earlier, just didn't really have the time to, so I decided to kind of make a video where half of it's talking about the UTEP game, half of it highlighting the game tomorrow against Liberty. We'll see how it all goes. I really appreciate you guys for watching, and I'm out.